Sam Kerr returns. That is the big headline here for the Matildas. She's back in the squad for the first time in almost 2 years. It's been almost 2 years since she last played a game for Australia. We know she's been back in action for her club side, Chelsea, in recent weeks. Coming off the bench, we're yet to see her start at the time of this recording. So how much of a role does Sam Kerr actually have in these games for Australia? I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks for her club side, Chelsea, whether she does finally make a start. But she might well have to settle for a place on the bench here for Australia as we, just sort of get her back to full fitness here and help reintegrate her back into this Matilda setup, because we know how good of a player Sam Kerr is. We need her, really starring for Australia at next year's Asian Cup. And that's what we're all really looking at here. With this squad, we are looking ahead to this Asian Cup and looking at this team. And I tell you what, this is such a high-quality team, depth all over the park. It's looking very, very strong right now for the Tillies. And honestly, I think the team that we'll eventually name for the Asian Cup could well look very, very similar to this, maybe with a couple alterations here and there. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. What do you make of this squad overall here that Joe Montemurro has named? Do you think it's capable of getting positive results here against Wales, against England? Two tough oppositions, and obviously coming up against England, the team who knocked us out in the semi-finals of the World Cup on our own home soil a couple of years ago. So that specifically will be a huge game for Australia, looking to respond there. And would be huge if we were to get a positive result against England, one of the top teams in women's football. The other exciting inclusions to talk about: Courtney Vine returns for the Tillies. Great to see. Great to see. We know Courtney Vine was one of those heroes in the World Cup in 2023, scoring that penalty in Brisbane in the quarterfinals against France. To see her return to this squad is huge. She's sort of been out for a little while now, and we know that, again, when she's fit and when she's in form, she's such a difficult player to stop running down the wing, whether she's playing off the left or the right. And of course, it should be noted, like, a lot of these players can play several different positions. So, this is sort of just to give you an idea of what the squad depth looks like for the squad that has been named. So Courtney Vine, hopefully she does play, a big role in these games, possibly even starting in these matches as well. And the other very, very exciting player to talk about here as well is Katrina Gorry. Such an experienced and high-quality player for Australia. She's been starring regularly for West Ham United in the Women's Super League so far. Katrina Gorry returns to the Aussie midfield here. And, I mean, even just looking at those midfield positions, it's really tricky thinking about how exactly it could shape up, because you've got plenty of quality options there that Joe Montemurro has to work with. So Katrina Gorry returning to the midfield as well. Aside from that, looking at the squad overall, no real major surprises. And I think we're just feeling happy and excited that we've got a squad here that is basically a full-strength Matildas team. Obviously, still a few players out with injury, but really, really excited about the potential combinations that we could see across the park here. And picking a starting 11 is very difficult as well. Goalkeeper positions, we should highlight that area of the park as well. Micah Arnold Wyman in there as well. Great to see that Jada Wyman's been getting some good game time for her club side. Micah Arnold's been getting some good football as well over at Portland Thorns in the US. So good options there for the goalkeeper positions. That back line's looking so strong. I mean, Carpenter, Grant, Rankin, Nevin in those fullback positions, no real surprises there. And the centre-back roles are looking so strong right now. Heatley, Kennedy, Catley, Hunt. I mean, you've got Heatley, who's now over at AS Roma. We haven't seen her get... she hasn't been starting every game so far for AS Roma, but she was one of the real standout players in those first 4 games in charge for Joe Montemurro. And whether, look, for me, like Winona Heatley, someone who... She's great at centre-back, but, equally as good, equally as strong, I think, and capable of doing a really good job playing in defensive midfield, which we have seen her do for Australia now over the last year. So even Alana Kennedy can jump in and play that role. So you have that versatility there as well, which is great that we have that, especially leading into the Asian Cup. You've got so many of these players who can play, a variety of different positions as well. Catley, I don't think there's any arguing the fact that she's now a central defender. Centre-back role, that left side centre-back, she plays that position for her club side, Arsenal. She should be playing that role for the Tillies here. Claire Hunt, fantastic option there as well. And whether you start Rankin and Nevin at left back, both really good options. I think both of it looked really good for Australia over the past year, especially. Again, those midfield positions. I probably would start those 3 players there that I've listed first in those midfield positions. So we're looking at Gorry, Cooney Cross, Sayer. Van Egmond and Wheeler, great options to come in there as well. Wheeler's been getting some good game time for Everton so far this season. And Remy Seamson, I was just about to talk about as well. We know she's capable of playing in a forward position as well. But I would start Amy Sayer in that center attacking midfield position. Again, one of the standout players in those friendly games a couple of months ago for Australia. And such a versatile player as well, Amy Sayer. It feels like, to me, I think her strongest position probably is center attacking midfield, and that's the role that I would like to see Amy Sayer play. But in those friendly games a couple months ago, we saw her play a bit deeper in the middle of the park. She's capable of playing in a forward position as well, even if it is out wide. So Amy Sayer, I just think with her abilities, with her attributes, with her strength on the ball and dribbling, I would love to see her operate in the middle of the park in a number 10 role. And then there's forward positions there. Again, Sam Kerr, how much does she feature in these games? Look, I think, again, if she is starting for Chelsea, if she does get a start for Chelsea, even just one start for Chelsea before the international window for the Matildas, I think we could see Sam Kerr start for Australia in these games. But I think the most likely scenario is that Sam Kerr is coming off the bench in these matches, which will, again, provide a platform for Heyman and McNamara to come in from the start, one of those players to come in from the start. Great to see that both of them were on the score sheet for Australia in those recent friendlies. And then the wide positions, probably would like to see Russo and Ford start. We know Caitlin Torpey is super versatile, whether she does play up on the wing or even in a fullback position. And Courtney Vine, again, we already spoke about her and her ability in wide areas as well. So it is genuinely exciting looking at the combinations that we could have happening here for Australia. And look, I think those first 4 games in charge of head coach Joe Montemurro, it was all about experimentation. He brought in so many players who were sort of on the fringe for the squad, on the edges, and gave them an opportunity. But he's named a full-string squad, almost full-string squad, I think we can say. We're still missing the likes of maybe Tamiki Yallop and Mary Fowler. And we'll see what happens when the A-League women's season gets underway as well, whether the likes of Chloe Lincoln or even Sian Farrar could maybe return to the squad. But I am genuinely really excited about this team. And it's great as well that just 6 months out from the Asian Cup, that we are fielding a strong squad here. And we, I think it's important that we are getting our squad gelling and the starting 11 really clicking together at this stage now. The preparation begins now for the Asian Cup. And I'm glad that this window hasn't necessarily been used for experimentation. That's what that last window was used for. This is all about building the chemistry with the starting 11 here. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about the team. And we're excited to see what we do against Wales and England. 2 really interesting tests. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot from these couple of games coming up. And we'll do plenty of content here on Auswatch Football covering both of those games, Wales and England. Friendlies coming up at the end of October for the Matildas. What do you make of this squad? Are you happy? Are there any players that you feel like are maybe missing out on this team for Joe Montemurro's side? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and stay subscribed for Matildas content right here with me, Lockie, on Auswatch Football. Hit the like button on the way out as well. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you in the next one.